more speakers, I'm very, very conscious as well. We have our other brothers over here who have some things that they actually want to do as well. And we'd like to support them like they're supporting us. Can I please ask Nala Mansell to come forward? Thank you, Nala.
I'm not that tall, but so first I'll just apologise because I'm kind of losing my voice. 26th of January is a date whose only significance is to mark the coming to Australia. Why not? What's wrong with this date? Now can you hear me? I'll hold. The 26th of January is a date whose only significance is to mark the coming to Australia of white people in 1788. That makes the celebration of this day a race-based celebration. January 26 is not a particularly pleasing occasion for Aborigines. The British were armed to the teeth, and from the moment they stepped foot on our country, the slaughter and dispossession of Aborigines began. It's one thing to acknowledge the fact of invasion, but it's quite another to celebrate it. Australia's fallen warriors at Gallipoli nearly 100 years ago with monuments and public holidays. Prime Ministers attend funerals of each digger killed in Afghanistan, yet Australia's history is blind to the killing of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Aborigines massacred in the quest for new lands. There are no monuments, no holidays for the fallen victims of these celebrated nations. Callously, Australia chooses to celebrate its National Day in complete disregard to ethnic cleaning and genocide. National Days usually mark the birthing of nationhood, which in Australia's case was 1901. It's understandable this date is avoided because the original constitution excludes Aborigines from being counted as citizens and therefore denied the vote amongst other rights. Australia is the only country that relies on the arrival of Europeans on its shores as its official national day. The USA doesn't choose the arrival of Christopher Columbus as the date for their national day. Its national day marks independence from Britain. Prime Minister Kevin Rudd apologised in 2007 to the victims of the stolen generation, but refused to compensate them. Australia has not once apologised for the invasion of Aboriginal lands. Instead, they celebrate it. There's been no acknowledgement of the massacres that remain hidden under the pioneers' version of Australian history. There's no effort, generally, to undo the wrongs that still affect Aboriginal people today. Parliaments that acknowledge the traditional owners do so mechanically, without sincerity. Tasmanian history shows the racist killers of Aborigines were never charged with murder. Instead, they were honoured. John Batman murdered men, women and children at the base of Ben Lomond. The Batman Bridge on the Tamar River is now named after him. Bowen Bridge is named after Lieutenant Bowen, whose men slaughtered Aboriginal people while hunting kangaroo at Risdon Cove. The main streets of Smithton are named after the rapist and murderer of harmless people at the Cape Grim in Goldie Street. I believe that it's unprincipled to participate in Australia Day celebrations while they remain race-based. Not all Aborigines adopt that position. Some accept these awards, arguing recognition of their individual efforts is recognition of the Aboriginal struggle. Their views are generally held, but their acceptance of these awards have not made the slightest difference. Mick Dodson was to have a conversation. Adam Goodes will fare no better. It seems that more Aborigines that accept the propaganda, the more we legitimise the rights of the whites to govern and the rights of Aborigines to be governed. Would the Palestinians accept an Israeli Year of the Year award? There may come a time when it's legitimate for Aborigines to accept these nominations, when a treaty has been made. But in the meantime, control of Aboriginal people should be removed from politicians and bureaucrats and handed back to Aboriginal people. The date of a treaty could mark a new national date for celebration, where both peoples acknowledge the wrongs of the past, but more importantly, together we can right them. Thank you.